Say amen when you're there. Ecclesiastes 3, chapter 3, verse 1 through 8. The topic is going to be, Lord, don't let this season pass me by.
Amen. All right.
Say amen if you're there.
Amen.
There is a time for everything, a season for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak out, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. We are going to go back to the third verse, a time to tear down and a time to build. Amen. So sometimes we need to know when God is like tugging on our hearts we need to know when that right tug is there. And so we can't keep something there forever. It's, as Assistant Pastor Washington said the other night, that if it's made by man, it's surely going to fall. Yeah. And so buildings are made by men, so they're going to fall. And we need to know when we need to start planning to build another building. Because as the title says, Lord, don't let this season pass me by. Sometimes you will wait until the last minute and you will miss your season.
Come on, Ariel.
And then your season will allow your building to fall. And so we need to know when we need to start building, because things won't last always.
Amen, amen.
We're going to go down to the fourth verse. A time to weep and a time to laugh. As humans, we all have emotions, but it's certain times when we are being triggered to feel a certain thing, like a time to weep, like maybe you lost someone, maybe you're hurting. That's a time to weep. Now we need to know when to stop weeping, because we can't hold on to everything for too long, just like holding on to that building that's getting ready to fall. And so we're going to go down to the 7th verse, a time to be silent and a time to speak.
Come on, girl. Help me here.
Sometimes people talk a little too much, but sometimes people talk just enough. Sometimes we need to know when to keep our mouths shut, because some things might come out at the wrong time. And when we need to speak, no one wants to listen because we spoke at the wrong time.
Right, out of season.
Sometimes, like I'm doing now, sometimes we need to tell people about the Lord, but we get shy and hide back there in the pews and say, no, I'll wait till next season. And then you're open this season, but then when you're trying to wait till next season, it's gone, it's closed, every place is booked. And so we're going to go to Daniel 2 and 21.
Okay.
Come on, Ariel.
Okay.
He changes times and seasons. He sets up kings and disposes them. And what that said to me was, there is a time to step up and a time to step down. Because he sets up a king to lead, not to step down and fall. Like that building, going back to the building, he sets up this big tower, this king that he sets up, and it's sooner or later going to fall because he has a plan to take them out, to replace them with someone else that'll bring something new to the table.
Right.
And so there are many times where we need to know when, like, God will get you in many ways. Might be a sign, might be a tug on the heart. And you need to know when God is actually trying to get to you. Because sometimes you're going to need to speak up and not be quiet. There's times you're going to need to step up and not step down.
Come on, come on.
You talking now.
We're going back to the 8th verse. A time for war and a time for peace.
Yes, help, help.
Sometimes we as men and women of God need to know what battles we need to fight. Because we are able to choose our battles. We are able to choose our battles. And that just goes right back around with emotions. Because sometimes emotions can get in the way. Because maybe we're feeling a certain way, and then we finally choose to go fight that battle when we need to step down.
Right.
And so, sometimes you need to know when to hold on and let go. Because some things, just like the tower, we need to know when to let go of that tower, because it might be a prized possession or something, and you want to hold on to it like it's going to be the longest living tower in the world, the tallest, the most old. But someday it is going to fall. Someday you might die, and that tower will go down with you, because you made it, and you had held back a season waiting for your dream to come true. And so we need to know, we always need to know to choose our battles. And when you're not in that battle that you choose to be in, then you need to start planning your battle.
There it is.
Because you never know
Preparation.
when you're going to actually need to do that battle. And when your emotions are out of the way, you can finally see clear and feel God telling you to go fight for me. And sometimes we need to rebuild and tear down. Be quiet, speak out. And when you understand what these saying means in this scripture, there are only 3 questions you need to figure out and go answer. When, where, and how. When to do it, when to start, where to start building your building, where to start that battle that you were feeling, and how to start new. Sometimes we need to figure out how, not just, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it since he told me to do it. No, we need to plan. So, as I said earlier, if you're not battling, then plan your battle. You are going to have to figure out how to start new. Okay, maybe I need to go here instead of here. Maybe I need to calm down instead of getting all hyped up.
Right,
and
right.
So, 3 questions are when to do it, where to start, and how to start new.
Oh, the force, girl.
Give God a hand praise.
Amen.
All right.